Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome for the drawing of lots of the African qualifiers of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup 2024. So in this qualifiers, we have 35 engaged teams, and we will have to qualify 2 teams only to the World Cup. So in order to do that, we will have to play 5 rounds, okay? The first round will be composed of the less 6 ranked teams. So they will qualify 3 teams to the following round, who will join the other 29 teams in order to have 32 teams in this round, and then 16 in the following one, 8, 4, and then the best 2 will qualify to the World Cup. So now to determine the 6 less ranked teams, we had to go back to the previous edition to check the participation record of the 35 engaged teams. So 8 out of the 35 did not participate in the last edition. So we had to compare these 8 in the previous editions of 2020, 2018, 2016. And finally, we determined the less 6 ranked teams who will play the first round. And these teams are Chad, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Libya, Mauritius, and Togo. So these teams will play the first round. We will do a draw to determine every team and its opponent. So the first team drawn will play against the second team drawn, and the first team drawn will play the first leg at home, and then the second team drawn will play the second leg at home. And this procedure will be repeated 3 times to determine the 3 different fixtures of this round. The next round, the second round, we have the 3 teams who will qualify from the first round playing against the best ranked team according to the record of the previous edition also. So we know that Nigeria and Ghana qualified to the World Cup, so they will play against 2 of the teams qualified from the first round, and Ethiopia, who was eliminated in the last round of the last edition qualifiers but had the best result in this round of the eliminated teams, will play against the third team from the first round. So Ethiopia will play against winner 1 and 2, Ghana will play against winner 3 and 4, Nigeria will play against winner 5 and 6. All the remaining engaged teams will start from the second round, and we will do a draw to determine the fixture of the teams. We distributed the teams into 4 different pots depending on their geographical distribution. So the third round then will have winners of the second round with the order of the matches, like winner 7 and 8 will play against 9 and 10, winner 11 and 12 will play against 13, 14, and so on till match 35, 36. As I said, we will have to play 5 rounds to qualify 2 teams to the Olympics. So the 4th round will also have the winners by number of matches, winner 39, 40 versus winner 41, 42, 43, 44 versus 45, 46, and so on. And finally, the 5th round will have the last 4 teams. They will play against each other to qualify 2 teams to the Under-20 Women's World Cup 2024. So let's go back to the first round now to determine the matches of the first round. As I said, we have pot 1, which has the less ranked teams: Chad, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Libya, Mauritius, and Togo. So I will be assisted by Hiba Abdallah, Senior Manager of Women's Competition. So please, Hiba, let's start by taking 1 ball from pot 1 and another ball from pot 1. The first team drawn will play the first leg at home, and the second team drawn will play the second leg at home. First matches, match 1 and 2. Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea will play the first leg at home, match number 1, and they will be playing against Libya. First leg will be played in Equatorial Guinea and second leg in Libya. The second matches, match 3 and 4, the next team will play match 3 at home. Togo. Togo will play the first leg at home, and they will play against Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau. Togo will play against Guinea-Bissau. First leg in Togo, second leg in Guinea-Bissau. The last fixture of this round, the two remaining teams. The first team drawn will play the first leg at home. Mauritius. Mauritius will play the first leg at home. And just to confirm the last team, and this would be Chad. The second leg will be played in Chad. So this concludes the draw of the first round. Match 1 and 2, Equatorial Guinea versus Libya. Match 3 and 4, Togo versus Guinea-Bissau. Matches 5 and 6, Mauritius versus Chad. The dates of this round will be 1 to 3 September, the first leg, and 8 to 10 September, the second leg. Now we will proceed with the draw of the second round. As I explained before, we have the teams divided into 4 pots. Pot 1 will have the teams of WAFO A, and Pot 2 will have the teams of WAFO B. Pot 3, COSAFA. Pot 4, SECAFA and UNIFAC. The teams of UNAF were distributed into the different pots according to their geographical condition, because we only have 3 teams from UNAF, so we had to distribute them in the other pots. The top 3 ranked teams, as I explained before, are going to play against the winners of the first round. Now that we know the teams of the first round, we will have already the matches of winner of Equatorial Guinea Libya versus Ethiopia, winner of Togo Guinea-Bissau versus Ghana, winner of Mauritius Chad versus Nigeria. And now we will start the draw of the remaining teams of the second round. We will take 1 ball from pot 1 and 1 ball from pot 2. We will mix them together in pot 5 to determine which team will play the first leg at home and the second leg at home. So we are going to mix them in pot 5, and then the first one will play the first leg at home and the second team will play the second leg at home. Okay, here let's take 1 ball from pot 1 and 1 ball from pot 2. We mix them very well, and then we will draw them together. Morocco. Morocco was eliminated from the 4th round of the previous edition. 4th round of the qualifiers of the previous edition, and they will play against Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso was eliminated from the 2nd round of the previous edition. So match 7 and 8 will be between Morocco and Burkina Faso. Matches 9 and 10. We take 1 ball from here, 1 ball from there. We mix them very well together. The next fixture, Guinea. Guinea, eliminated from the 3rd round of the previous edition qualifiers, will play against Niger. Niger was eliminated from the 1st round of the previous qualifiers. Next, we have match 11 and 12. The first team will play the first leg at home as usual. Mali. Mali, eliminated from the 2nd round of the previous qualifiers, will play the first leg at home against the team who will be drawn now, Algeria. Algeria did not participate in the previous qualifiers. The last 2 teams from these spots, pot 1 and 2, Senegal. Senegal was eliminated from the last round of the previous qualifiers. They almost qualified to the World Cup, but they couldn't make it. They lost in the last round. And they will play against Benin, who was eliminated from the 2nd round of the previous edition. So now we have the matches completed of pots 1 and 2, and we will go now to pots 3 and 4. Just to explain small details, so from pot 3 we have 8 teams, from pot 4 we have 10 teams. We are going to draw one ball from pot 3 and one ball from pot 4 as usual, and we will have 2 teams remaining in pot 4. These 2 teams will play against each other. So, but we will start now by picking one ball from here and one ball from there and mix them together. Same procedures as pot 1 and 2. Let's proceed. Mozambique was eliminated from the second round in the previous edition. They will play the first leg at home against Uganda. Uganda was eliminated from the fourth round in the last qualifiers. The next fixtures: Eswatini was eliminated from the first round in the previous edition qualifiers. They will play the first leg at home, and they will play against Gabon. Gabon will play the second leg at home. The next matches, 23-24. The first team drawn plays the first leg at home. Congo will play the first leg at home, and they will play against Namibia. Namibia was eliminated from the second round of the previous qualifiers. Now the next 2 teams. Egypt was eliminated from the second round of the previous qualifiers, and the opponent will be Sao Tome. Sao Tome was eliminated from the first round of the previous qualifiers. The next fixture, Cameroon, eliminated from the fourth round of the previous edition, will play against Botswana. Botswana was eliminated from the third round of the previous edition. Okay. The next 2. Kenya was eliminated from the second round of the previous edition. Will play against Angola, also eliminated from the second round of the previous edition. Next one from pot 3. Zambia was eliminated from the second round of the previous qualifiers, and they will play against DR Congo. DR Congo, also eliminated from the second round of the previous edition. Last ball from pot 3. Burundi. Burundi was eliminated from the third round of the last qualifiers, and they are playing against South Africa, who was also eliminated from the third round in the previous qualifiers. As I explained before, the last two balls will play against each other. No need to put them in pot 5. We will just draw them, and the team drawn first will play the first leg at home. Last one, Heba, I hope you're not too tired. Tanzania, eliminated from the fourth round of the previous qualifiers. They were also very close to qualify to play the last round, but they were eliminated in the fourth round. And this time they are competing in the first round against Djibouti. And the first leg will be played in Tanzania and the second leg in Djibouti. So this concludes the draw of the second round. As you can see, the matches in front of you. Morocco versus Burkina Faso, Guinea versus Niger, Mali versus Algeria, Equatorial Guinea, Libya. The winner will play against Ethiopia, and so on. This round will be played first leg from 6 to 8 October, second leg from 13 to 15 October of this year. And in the third round, the winners of these rounds will play against each other by order of matches, as explained before. So Morocco versus Burkina, the winner will play against winner of Guinea and Niger. Winner of Mali, Algeria will play against winner of Equatorial Guinea, Libya versus Ethiopia. Winner of Senegal, Benin versus winner of Mozambique, Uganda. Winner of Eswatini, Gabon versus winner Togo, Guinea, Bissau, Ghana. Winner of Congo, Namibia versus winner of Egypt, Sao Tome. Winner of Cameroon, Botswana versus winner of Kenya, Angola. Winner of Zambia, DR Congo versus winner of Burundi, South Africa. Winner of Tanzania, Djibouti versus winner Mauritius, Chad versus Nigeria. This round will be played 10 to 12 November, first leg, 17 to 19 November, second leg. The fourth and fifth round will have the teams who will win from the previous round. So we will have 8 teams qualified to the fourth round playing against each other by order of matches, 39-40 versus 41-42, and so on. The team mentioned first, or the match mentioned first, will play the first leg at home. The fourth round will be played from 12 to 14 January 2024, and second leg 19 to 21 January 2024. And finally, the fifth round and the last round will have the 4 last teams playing against each other, and the 2 winners will qualify to the Under 20 Women World Cup. This round, the fifth round and last round, will be played from 8 to 10 March and 15 to 17 March 2024. This concludes the drawing of lots of the Under 20 Women's World Cup. So we would like to wish good luck to all the teams, and thank you everyone. We will take a short break and then we will resume with the drawing of lots of the Under 17. Thank you. Hello everyone. Now it's time for the drawing of lots of the African qualifiers of the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup 2024. So now for this competition we have only 25 engaged teams, and we are qualifying 3 teams to the World Cup. We have 3 slots for Africa, so we are going to have a first round with only 2 teams. The last 2 ranked teams will play against each other. They will qualify one team who will join the other 23 to compose 24 teams, and then we will play 24 teams the second round, 12 teams, and then 6 teams, and the winner of the 6 teams, the 3 winners, will qualify to the World Cup. To determine the last 2 ranked teams, we had to check the participation of all the teams in the previous qualifiers of the Under-17 Women's World Cup, and actually we had 5 teams who did not participate at all. Okay, and in these qualifiers, and since we don't have record for these 5 teams in the previous qualifiers, we had to go by the FIFA ranking for women football. So the less ranked teams among these 5 are Central Africa and Mauritius. So Central Africa and Mauritius will play against each other in the first round. We are just going to do a draw to determine who will play the first leg at home and who will play the second leg at home. And then let's have a look at the second round. The winner of Central Africa Mauritius will play against Nigeria. Nigeria being the highest ranked team. We know that Nigeria finished 3rd in the last Under-17 Women's World Cup. So Nigeria will play against winner 1 and 2, and all the other teams will be drawn together according also to the geographical conditions. So we put in pot 1 of the second round the teams of Sekafa, and they will play against the teams of Unifac and Kosafa. And then in pot 3 we have the 3 teams of UNAF. They will play against the teams of WAFO A, WAFO B. But WAFO A, WAFO B, of course, we have more than 3 teams engaged in this qualifier. So after we take the 3 balls who will play against UNAF, the remaining ones will play against each other. So now let's start the drawing of lots. I will be assisted again by Heba Abdallah, Senior Manager of Women Competitions. So Heba will start with the first round. As I said, we already know that the 2 teams are Central Africa, Mauritius. But just to determine who is playing home and who is playing away, the first team drawn will play the first leg at home, and the second team drawn will play the second leg at home. Central Africa will play the first leg at home. So just to confirm that the second ball is Mauritius. Mauritius. So the first match will be played in Central Africa, and the second leg will be played in Mauritius. This round will be played 8-10 December, the first leg, and 15-17 December, the second leg. We will now go to the second round. In the second round, we already know now that Central Africa Mauritius winner will play against Nigeria, and we are going to draw the other teams. As I explained before, in pot 1 and pot 2, we have teams of Sekafa playing against teams of Unifac and Kosafa. We will take 1 ball from pot 1, 1 ball from pot 2. We will mix them together in pot 5, and then the team drawn first will play the first leg at home. The team drawn second will play the second leg at home. So let's proceed, Heba, please, with the first team from pot 1 and the first team from pot 2. We will mix them very well, and then they will play against each other. First one will play the first leg at home. Djibouti. Djibouti did not participate in the last qualifiers. They will play against Equatorial Guinea, who also did not participate in the last qualifiers. They are both trying this time to qualify to the World Cup. The second 2 teams from pot 1 and 2. Burundi. Burundi, eliminated from the third round in the previous edition, will play against Botswana, who was eliminated from the second round in the previous qualifiers. Matches 7 and 8. Same procedure. First team plays the first leg at home. Second team plays the second leg at home. Ethiopia. Ethiopia was eliminated in the fourth round of the last qualifiers. They will play against South Africa. South Africa was eliminated from the third round of the previous qualifiers. The next two teams, AFD Congo. AFD Congo was eliminated from the second round in the previous qualifiers. And they will play against Kenya, who did not participate in the last qualifiers. The next two teams from pot 1 and 2. Zambia. Zambia was eliminated from the third round of the previous qualifiers. And they will play against Tanzania. Tanzania qualified to the last World Cup. They are trying to repeat their achievement by qualifying again. They will play against Zambia. The last fixture from pots 1 and 2. Uganda. Uganda was eliminated from the second round of the previous edition. And Uganda will play against the last remaining team from these two pots, Cameroon, who was almost there in the last World Cup. They were eliminated in the last round. This concludes the draw of the two pots, pot 1 and 2. Now we are going to proceed with pot 3 and 4. In pot 3 we have 3 teams only. In pot 4 we have 7 teams. So the first 3 teams drawn from pot 4 will play against the 3 teams of UNAF, and the remaining 4 will play against each other. Let's start by taking one ball from UNAF, from Algeria, Morocco and Libya. And they will play against the team that will be drawn from the zones of WAFU A and WAFU B. The first team drawn will play the first leg at home. Niger. Niger was eliminated in the third round of the previous qualifiers. And they will play against Morocco, Morocco also qualified to the last World Cup, big achievement, and they are trying to repeat their achievement again. They will play against Niger in this first round. The first leg will be played in Niger and the second leg in Morocco. The next team from UNAF against the next team from WAFUS. Benin. Benin was eliminated from the second round in the previous qualifiers. And they will play against Algeria. Algeria did not engage in the last qualifiers. The next team drawn, Libya. Libya also did not participate in the last qualifiers. They will play the first leg at home against the team that will be drawn now. Which is Senegal. Senegal was eliminated from the second round of the previous qualifiers. Now, as I explained before, the remaining 4 teams will play against each other. There will be no need to put them in the empty pot 5 since they are already coming from one pot. So the first one drawn will play the first leg at home and the second one drawn will play the second leg at home. First team drawn. Liberia. Liberia was eliminated from the second round of the previous edition. Will play against Mali. Mali did not participate in the last one. And finally, the remaining 2 teams from WAFU A and WAFU B. Burkina Faso, who did not participate in the last edition, will play against the remaining team. First leg will be played in Burkina Faso. And the remaining team is Guinea, eliminated from the third round of the previous edition, will play against Burkina Faso, and the second leg will be played in Guinea. So this concludes the drawing of lots of the second round. As you can see, the matches in front of you. Djibouti will play against Equatorial Guinea, Burundi versus Botswana, Ethiopia versus South Africa, Afdi Congo versus Kenya, Zambia, Tanzania, Uganda, Cameroon, Niger, Morocco, Benin, Algeria, Libya, Senegal, Liberia, Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, winner of Central Africa, Mauritius versus Nigeria. And the matches will be played first leg 2 to 4 February 2024 and second leg 9 to 11 February 2024. The third round, we have the winners by order of matches. So the winner of the first fixture will play against the winner of the second fixture and so on. And this round will be played 10 to 12 May 2024 and 17 to 19 May 2024. And then the last round, the fourth round, the last 6 teams will play against each other also by order of matches. 27-28 versus 29-30, 31-32, 33-34, and so on. And the winners of this round will qualify to the World Cup. The first leg will be played from 7 to 9 June, the second leg from 14 to 16 June 2024. So this concludes the drawing of lots of the African qualifiers of FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup 2024. Thank you everyone, and good luck to all the teams.